Okay, so in order to create this blending between walking, running, and just idling, we need to know the monster's speed. For example, if the speed is equal to 0, we will play idle animation because we're not moving, the monster is not moving. But when the speed is greater than 0, the monster is actually moving, and if the speed is greater than 200, for example, he is running. So we need to play running animations. So that speed variable will be really useful here. So here we have two nodes by default. One of them is try get pawn owner, and this is event blueprint update animation. So this will fire all the time the animation is playing. But before we do that, we need to get a reference to the bookhead monster, because later we will set up some variables here, and then we will be able to access them inside animation blueprint by getting the character reference. So we can just get this try get pawn owner, and here we can search for initialize, and we have this event blueprint initialize animation. This is basically like a begin play. So whenever this animation blueprint starts working, this will fire. So from this try get pawn owner, so it just tries to get the character that's owning this animation blueprint, and here we can cast to BP bookhead monster. Okay, so now we're checking if the owner of this animation blueprint is our bookhead monster, and we can just store it as a variable. So let's rename this to monster reference. Okay, and what we will also need to calculate the speed, for example, is character movement. So from this monster reference, we can just get character movement. It should be down there. Okay, character movement, and we can also set it as this promote display variable called movement reference. And we have these two references, but one of them is some components category, one of them is without category. So we can just create a new one. So let's name this monster character references. And we can grab this movement reference and move it to monster character references. So let's just compile. And oh, I forgot to plug this right here. And we can also comment this section, and let's name this monster references or something like that. Okay, so how do we actually calculate the speed that we will use in a second? On this update animation, first of all, we want to get the monster reference. But we can right click on the monster reference and convert it to validated get. What it will do is it will just normally get the reference, but it will also see if this reference is valid. So if this won't work, this code will not fire. So this will only fire if this animation blueprint owner is BP bookhead monster. So we were calculating speed before in our player character blueprint, but now we need to do the calculations for the monster. So we will just get movement reference. From here we will get velocity. It should be down there. Yep, there it is. And here we can just get vector length, and this vector length of velocity is our speed. So we can normally just right click and promote this to a variable called speed. Let's connect this here, organize this a little bit. We can just comment this, get monster speed. Okay, and we can move it here. Yep. So now we have this speed, and let's see how we can use this data to switch between different animations.